Hey everybody, it's Shelly. Messing with my hair. So today I was just going to talk about my reselling business for a couple reasons. One, because I've been seeing a lot of people looking for work right now and asking me about what I do. And two, because I've seen a few posts on Facebook about how big business right now is the real looters. And I just feel like that's not, I mean, you can have your own opinion about what big business is, but one of the people there was like, oh, geez, why am I just totally Warren Buffett? Thank you. Warren Buffett, that he has made money during this pandemic and how that equates to him being the real looter. And I just thought Warren Buffett has been investing in companies and has worked his way up by making really good business decisions. You know, Zach Zucker, what's his name? Anyways, Facebook, I'm so bad with names. Facebook's owner, you know, he started out with an idea, and if you watch the movie, you know, he stole it from somebody, but he was smart and he took that idea and ran with it and he turned it into Facebook, and he's a very rich man because of it. Does that make him a looter and a horrible person because people want to pay Facebook to get their businesses seen? Like, that's how Facebook makes their money, is they make their money by offering advertising and targeting. You know, those Facebook ads that you see when you talk about, oh, we need to get a new bed, and then you see a bunch of mattress ads on your Facebook feed. That's because that's what Facebook does. It's amazing. If you're a mattress salesman, you can target people who go on their feed and say, hey, we need a new bed. It's amazing. The technology is amazing. Elon Musk was on that list of looters that are making money right now, and that's looting. He makes Tesla, the car, doesn't he? If I want to go buy a car and I have to pay for the car, we went and bought me a car a few months ago. Does that mean that the dealership that I went and bought a car from during this time is a looter because they made money? I know they made money. They got that car for way cheaper than what I bought it for. I just don't understand that. I mean, I guess because big business gets all those tax breaks and stuff, but that's a situation with our overall system. That's not a situation with business. I own a business and I can write things off. I can write my mileage off. I can write part of my house off. This office is part of my business write-off. Does that make me a looter because I'm taking advantage of write-offs because I have a business? Like, on a bigger scale, you do that on a bigger scale. A big, huge company moves into a community and is going to provide a bunch of jobs, and they get huge tax breaks because they're providing that community with a huge advantage to employ all these people. And people get all up in arms about that and are just like, oh, they're stealing. And no, they're not. They're providing a service. And right now, online business is huge because so many stores were closed. Okay, so that's my rant about business and that they're not looters. We live in a capital society where we get to make money. You know, if my resale business turns into something huge and I'm making, you know, 10 million a month, does that make me a looter because I've built this huge business? I mean, I'm not going to make that kind of money running to the thrift store and coming home and selling stuff. So, but, you know, if I started like a course on how to start your own reselling business and it just took off like wildfire and went viral and I was making $1 million a month and I was getting all these amazing tax breaks and I was, you know, living the life because I built this business, that doesn't make me a bad person. That just makes me a business owner. Okay. I swear I'm done. I'm done now. Thanks for listening to my 5-minute rant. Apparently, that's how long I needed to go on. Okay, with all of that said, it's no political view. It's just my view of business. What I do. So I'm just going to explain what I do. How I started was when the kids were little, eBay started. Like back in 2000, 99, 2000, somewhere in there, I was like, oh, this eBay thing is cool. And so like Madison's little Nikes, her little baby Nikes. I think, I know that wasn't the first thing that I sold, but when there's questions on those resale sites and they're like, what's the first thing you ever sold on eBay? I always go to those Nikes because I just remember we got them as a gift, which is great, but kids grow out of things fast. And at the time, we didn't have any plans for another kid, so I put them on Facebook. I put them on eBay, and they sold really quickly. And this was back in the day of something sells for an auction. Back then you didn't put buy it now price. You put an auction price. So I might have put those on for like $1.99 to start the auction. And I think they sold for like, even back then, that was over 20 years ago, they sold for like 20 or 30 bucks. And I was like, wow, okay, what else can I sell? And so then, I went through our house and I found stuff, I'm not using this kitchen gadget anymore. The kids aren't using this toy anymore. My husband's not using these boots anymore, whatever. And I just started selling stuff. And then I realized, and I don't know why I didn't realize this, because I grew up garage sailing and antiquing and all that good stuff. My mom ran a antique store and I had an antique booth in there. I'm like, I could sell antiques on eBay, and I could go to garage sales and find stuff to sell on eBay. And I started doing that. And it got to the point where both the kids and my husband would be like, okay, honey, I'm going to put these in the closet and I'm not going to use them for a while, but don't sell them. It was like I was selling anything that wasn't nailed down. And so then I was like, clothes, like I could sell clothes. And my mom had kind of started selling clothes too, and she just absolutely loved it. She loves the merchandising part of clothes, so she ended up selling them out of the antique store in like a little boutique that she put together. But anyways, and then I was like, clothes are cool because you can just send them in like a poly envelope and they're not going to break. Like some of those antiques, I had stuff that broke all the time, and you'd just pack it so good and they'd still manage to break it or rip the package open or whatever. It's just a risk you take when you ship something. And so I discovered clothes and I started selling clothes. And I literally started out with I was using my closet. We had a big walk-in closet and I was using that as storage. And I want to say I had like 200 or 300 things, and I was making $1,800 a month in sales. That was pretty awesome. That was back in the good old days when you could have 300 items on your store, 200 or 300 items on your store, and make $1,800 a month. Since then, it's been saturated. I just recently got off of eBay for my own reasons. eBay is still an amazing place to sell. I just didn't want to make some of the transitions that they were doing. But I sell on Poshmark and Mercari, and I just started on Depop. I'm going to send some stuff into ThredUp. There are so many platforms to sell online. You can do Facebook Marketplace. You can do OfferUp. You can do, there's another one, Let It Go or Let Go or something like that. There are just so many. I want to say there's one called Kidizen, which I'm going to look into because I have a bunch of kids' clothes, and kids' clothes just doesn't sell well on Poshmark. Poshmark is more trendy, teen, young adult, some business wear on there, but it's mostly really trendy stuff. So anyways, there's just so many options. People are like, oh, well, where do I get all this information and what's the system cost to get into reselling? And it's like, there's no system. There's tons of YouTube videos and there are like courses you can buy, but honestly, You can just get on one of those sites, start a free account, and start listing stuff. And all of that stuff is self-explanatory. And if you ever get stuck, you can look on YouTube and say, you know, what's the best way to take a picture for Poshmark? And then you'll find a bunch of videos on how to photograph for Poshmark and be like, oh, okay, what's the best way to price my stuff on Mercari? And you'll find videos on that. You know, if I was going to say that if there was just a couple things that I could just like drill home to you, it would be, number one, make sure that you have access to your smartphone so you can look things up. And even if you're not going to list it on eBay, it's a good idea to just have the eBay app on your phone, because eBay is a really good indicator of what things are selling for. You can look on eBay for, like, you know, a Columbia jacket, and then there's options. You can filter it to just see the solds, and that's what I always look at, because I want to know what a Columbia jacket recently sold for. I don't want to know that somebody's got it listed for $150 when it's only selling for 20. You know, you can list stuff for $150 all day long, but if it's not what the market's willing to pay, you're just going to be listing stuff and wasting your time and storing stuff for a long time. So is to be able to look things up. Okay, there's 3 things. Number 2, know what you're selling in the beginning. You can branch out. Like, I know clothes, and I kind of looked into cell phones, because there are people literally making like $10,000 to $30,000 a month selling used cell phones on these platforms. I'm not joking. So because of that money incentive, I was like, ooh, I want to do that. So I started looking at all this stuff, and I even like kind of delved into it a little bit, and I was just like, I don't like it. I'm not a techie person. I don't want to tear cell phones apart. Like, if you know how to fix cell phones and put new screens on them and test them and put new batteries in them and all that stuff you can learn, you can make a ton of money buying used cell phones and fixing them up and reselling. You could even make money buying used cell phones for really cheap from like your local market, like putting it out on Craigslist and reselling those broken cell phones on a platform for somebody who wants a bunch of them, because that's what they do, is they fix them and sell them. So you can be like a middleman with that. But if you don't like cell phones and you're not techie and you're not into taking things apart and changing batteries, and that just would drive you insane, like, that's how I feel, it's not for you. But do you like to golf? Do you always pick stuff up at garage sales for golfing, and you have like this golf collection and you just don't get to go out? Start selling those golf clubs. Like, there's ways to ship golf clubs. The post office makes a huge triangular long priority box, and I've sent golf clubs and umbrellas and vintage posters in those. And yeah, it's amazing the stuff you can sell. So I mostly sell clothes, but I also delve into like antiques and collectibles and jewelry and stuff, because I love that. But sell what you know. And number 3 is know your shipping, especially on eBay, because eBay lets you calculate your own shipping. Like, you can ask for $10 worth of shipping. You can ask for calculated shipping. So you can just put in that it's, you know, it's first class because it's under 15 ounces, because that's what's on eBay. And you can, it'll calculate, like, I'm in Washington State and it's going to here, so this is how much it's going to cost. There's flat rate envelopes. Like, learn all of that. What I love about Poshmark is all the shipping is, I want to say it's like a little over $7 and it's priority. So whether you buy a beanie hat or you buy a heavy coat or a pair of overalls, if it's under 5 pounds, it's that $7.20 or $40 or whatever it is. And that's what it costs the buyer. And you can offer free shipping. Like, on some of my stuff, I've got a pair of vintage riding boots here, like English riding boots. And, you know, I'm asking $99 for them. So if I was going to put out an offer for those for like $60, I could put free shipping, because then I'm just like spending an extra $7 or $8. And then somebody might be like, oh, cool, free shipping, I'll take them. So when it's more like that, you can offer that free shipping or discounted shipping. On Mercari, I offer free shipping on everything, but I also add that to the price. So say I want to get $10 out of that item, and the Mercari price to send that item is $4.99. I'm going to ask like $17 for it. So the fees that Mercari takes, and then my free shipping, and I end up with about $10 profit on that. So you have to get that shipping right, because if you don't, you still need to ship that item and you need to eat the cost if you messed up. And I have done that. Oh, I can't even tell you how many times I've done that. You just have to eat it because you're a seller. Can you imagine if you went on Mercari and you saw free shipping on this beautiful coat that you wanted, and you were like, wow, they only want $20 for it? And then you put, you buy it, you purchase it, and then the seller says, oh, I kind of messed up on the shipping, so I'm going to need 30 instead. You'd be mad. Or if they just were like, I'm canceling that order because I messed up on the shipping. No, eat it. It's a lesson. And when you eat it a few times, you'll stop doing it and you'll figure it out. And you'll still do it every once in a while. And you have to be okay with returns. People will return things because they don't fit, even though you put all the measurements. People will return things because I just sold a North Face pullover, and it had a run. It was like fleece on top and like nylon on the bottom, and it had a run in down by the pocket on the nylon that was so small. It took me literally like 5 minutes to find it, and that's why she returned it. You just have to take those. Okay, return it. I'll relist it. And so I sold that on Poshmark. I relisted on Mercari, and I sold it in like 2 days. And I, like the run is so insignificant, and it's a used item. Things are going to have little flaws when you sell used items. And people just need to know that. I mean, if it had a huge run across the front of it, yeah, I'd put that and I'd take a picture of it. But it's got this minuscule run right next to the seam. Like, I mean, literally, I don't even think it was a centimeter long, and it was like right next to a seam. Like, what? Anyways, sometimes you get really irritated about those things, and you just have to let it go. You have to shake it off. Don't do that. And then you have to have storage. See, I have all this storage. Like, this whole room has stuff in it. I have a shipping station. This is where I list. That's where I have my dresses in the closet. I have my coats over here. I have everything else. These bins right here are my jewelry. I have some like fragile stuff up here in the closet. And then all this stuff hanging in the closet is all like really nice vintagey stuff, because I keep my stuff in bins because it's clothes. You can just throw it in a bin. It doesn't matter if it gets wrinkled up, because it's going to get wrinkled in shipping. And so, but these things are like stuff that I don't want just getting tousled around in a bin. So I hang them up. So that's my reselling business. So I go to the thrift store. I really love to go to the outlet. I get my stuff. If I get over 25 pounds in my cart, which I always do, I get it for $1.29 a pound. It used to be 99 cents a pound, and it's $1.29 a pound now. I think it's like $1.60 or 79 a pound if you get under 25, which is still amazing. And you have to go dig through these bins. When I go there, I'm usually there from anywhere from like an hour and a half to 3 hours is usually what it takes me to get. I usually get somewhere between like 30 and 70 pounds, depending on what I get. I get hard goods in there too. Anyways, I'll go there or go to a thrift store or go to the garage sales, and I know what I'm looking for, and I have my phone in case I find something and I'm not sure what it is, and I look it up and look at sold comps. And comps means comparables. So, I find a pair of Nikes and I'm like, cool, a pair of Nikes. Well, not all Nikes are selling well. You can find a brand new pair of Nikes that you're going to get $10 for. You can also find an old pair of Nikes that you can get $200 for. So you have to figure it all out. And so that's how you look it up. Most things have a style number or some sort of significant number. If you don't know that, you can just put like blue and gold Nikes and see what comes up, and you might find your exact shoe. So I go find stuff, I bring it home. If it needs any repair or cleaning or steaming, I do that. And then I take pictures of it. So I will get my handy dandy little digital camera, and you can do it with your phone too, but I do it with my digital camera. I have a backdrop in one of our spare rooms, and I just take pictures. And I either put them on a mannequin, which you don't even have to do. You can do it on a floor. You can do it on a carpet. You can do it on a laminate floor. You can do it on your patio if it's clean. Like, put it somewhere where it's going to look good. And then take a picture of it, and I'll take a picture of like 100 things all at once or 50 things all at once. And then I load the pictures, I edit them, because sometimes they come out different or the color's wrong. Sometimes the camera doesn't pick up a color right, so I can mess with that in my editing software. And then you go over to your site, whatever it is that you pick, and you start loading the pictures and putting the description and measuring the clothes. If you're not sure how to measure clothes, go on YouTube and look for how to measure shirts, how to good measurements for jeans, whatever. You'll figure it out. And then I put it on there. I put about what I think I'm going to get for it. I always go a little high because lots of people make offers. And then I wait. And, you know, on Poshmark, I do a lot of sharing and a lot of offers and all that stuff. And, you know, there's other sites that you don't have to do any of that. And then when I make a sale, I usually ship it within 24 hours. I hit the post office daily, sometimes even on Saturdays, depending on how much I have to ship. Or sometimes I get somebody that's like, can you get that out as soon as possible? I'm leaving on Friday for a cruise and I really want that dress, you know? So I'll get it out. Sometimes I'll get it out that day. Like, I'm just like, oh, I'll just pack it up and, you know, take it down to the post office because I'm heading out to run some errands or whatever. So, and then you build up a balance in Poshmark, and then you can transfer it to your bank account. Right now, I have like, I think it's like 180 pending on Poshmark. So as soon as all those people get that stuff and approve it, it'll drop into my balance, and then you can do that daily. You can do it 5 times a day if you wanted. You can have it transferred to your bank account. I do it every Monday, and I do the same with Mercari, and usually takes a few days for Mercari, and usually Poshmark is in there within 24 hours. And then I just start the whole process over again. And so you can do that with so many different items. And eBay, it's just endless. And you can do Amazon, look up selling on Amazon, Amazon FBA, which is a whole different situation that you can learn about. But it's an actual business you can do from home. And, you know, all these people are like, oh, there's nothing I can do. I can't find any work. If you really want to, you could do this. And it's not for everybody. I'm not trying to force everybody that you have to be a reseller. I'm just saying I love it. Like, you know, my saying is that thrifting is my superpower. And I feel like that. And my husband will go thrifting with me, and he'll just be like amazed at, you know, we'll just be going down the aisles at Goodwill, and I'm like, oh my God, this is a McCoy planter. It's so cool. And, you know, I'll look it up, and I'm like, you know, it's $3.99. I can get, you know, $30 for this online. He's just like, how did you even know that that's what that was? Because I grew up in this business. I've been doing this since, you know, my parents had an antique store when I was like 5 or 6, and that's just what I grew up doing. I just learned to recognize things. So it's just a lot of fun. So I just wanted to put that out there. Maybe I can send people to this video if they're like, how do you do what you do? I can send them here, and hopefully they don't get too upset by my beginning rant about business and not being horrible. Anyways, you guys have a great day. Please hit the thumbs up button if you like this video. Subscribe and hit the bell if you want to know when my videos are out. And happy Tuesday. I'm making tacos tonight. I hope you are too.